Hey, everybody, this is Micah Lieberman with Scope and also with Clinico and Scope 365 now. Many of you know me from my conference and also from the B2B marketplace, but you also probably know the person who I am speaking with right now. This is Alex Charge. So Alex has been at Scope forever. She's been involved in a lot of cool stuff, including many years at Roche, AstraZeneca, GSK, then at Sightline, IQVIA. You have ran your own business, your own digital agency. You've done a lot of stuff, Alex. And right now she has a broken arm. So I need you to hold up your cast. Yeah, very cool. Okay.
Right wrist.
No, we're into transparency, man. We got to let people know. That's why she's not answering your emails right away, because she's typing. But right now, Alex has some of you already know this because it's not totally new, but she is the CEO of ISPEP, International Society for Patient Engagement Professionals, right? This is a big deal. So I'm really happy with what you're doing. There's a total need in industry. So Alex, welcome.
Thank you. Amazing to see you again, Micah. How are you doing?
It's always fun talking. All right. Tell people who don't know, what is ISPEP?
Sure. So ISPEP is a not-for-profit where we aim to essentially look at the principle of patient engagement and professionalize it as a bona fide passion to profession principle within medicine's development. So Emma Sutcliffe, she's the Chief Patient Officer. She's the original founder who kicked it off last summer, I think, and I joined her a couple of months later. And it's been running for over a year. We have grown exponentially, Micah, and we've got 2,000 plus members globally. And as the name suggests, it's fully international. But essentially is looking at all the patient engagement professionals within medicine's development in industry, and solution providers as well, because a lot of the time they're innovators in the space, and also patient advocacy groups and patient organizations. So these are all the stakeholders essentially are there to driving the best practices for patients. Essentially, we're there looking to how do we standardize the role? There's been a lot of focus on the what's and the how's, but not necessarily the who's. So essentially, how do we look to support patient engagement professionals and highlighting all the amazing things that they do, standardizing their role, providing masterclasses that Emma's now running. We've got fantastic sponsorships with a lot of organizations where we're doing demonstrating return on investment through our voice to value solutions, doing some fantastic custom sponsorships as well, where we're doing workshopping and innovating with patient organizations and biopharma, looking at patient recruitment with Evernova, looking with Cutsy, for instance, are looking at patient preferences and the evolution of that in complex clinical trials. So yes, we are busy. That's all I can say.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and the other thing as well, you should see our podcast as well. We've got some phenomenal, very, very senior executives in patient engagement who are sharing their, the journeys and really wanting to demonstrate where they've been, what they're going. Exactly.
And they are good. And let's make sure when we post this on LinkedIn, follow up, post that link in there as well, so we can people that don't know it. And everything you mentioned, this is the type of stuff we like talking about. And it is the stuff we talk about at Scope, right? And we're going to see each other next week at Scope Europe in Spain. And you have a panel there. Thank you. And Emma was there last year as well. So, but there's something else too. So is that you and I were talking about the first International Patient Engagement Day. What is that?
So ISPEP are launching inaugural International Patient Engagement Day on the 15th of October. So I'm going to be taking over Scope on the day. That's also when I'm presenting the panel, Patient Preference in Clinical Development. But essentially what we really wanted to do is highlight the importance of patient engagement professionals. There's obviously lots of brilliant days out there related to, patient-centric days, but it's none that actually focus on the individuals. So how can we raise their voices? We are change champions. I'm not allowed to move, but just so you can see that. Yes. And it really is there to collaborate and join the global forces of these individuals, highlight the work that they're doing. So we are essentially it's countdown to next Wednesday. I am going to take over Scope a little bit on the day, so be prepared.
We like
coming with my t-shirt, I'm sure. But it is really to highlight all the fantastic work over the years. I mean, literally, this profession has been going for obviously a long time, but it's only now truly taking prominence, really kind of becoming a strategic imperative and within business functions. We talked a little bit earlier on. There's, for instance, lots of changes ongoing right now, which are affecting a lot of our patient engagement colleagues. So how do we raise their profiles? How do we support them? But also, how do we demonstrate the requirement of all the different principles of patient engagement at different stages of medicine's development and helping to support and highlight the need, everything, of course, for patients as the ultimate outcome, stakeholders in this.
Yeah, and what you said is interesting too, which is that this has been there's job titles. I think of like, when I think of pharma, I think of like departments, functions, and I try to put people into boxes, not literally, but I'm trying to think, okay, what is their job? Oh, they're a data manager. Oh, they're a supply chain expert. Oh, their title says patient recruitment and retention. What's interesting is I think there's two things, and you've been involved in this, is you have people with job titles that are enrollment planning, patient recruitment and retention, but then you started seeing titles like patient engagement, right? But also then industry started, rightfully so, using the term patient centricity. 10 years ago, it started becoming a buzzword, and then it became a real thing. Things start as buzzwords and hype, and that's okay. And then they get adopted and professionalized, and they become a part of it. So patient engagement, I think one of the things we're talking about is we always talk about integrating the patient voice and into drug development earlier. And I think this is part of what you're trying to help these organizations figure out. And also they're learning from each other, right? So how do you connect your people? So you're talking about your webinars, your training, you're crowdsourcing a lot of like global expertise. But if I'm Micah and you're Alex, we don't know each other. I'm at Pfizer, you're at how are we connecting within ISPEP?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm just going to quickly go back one step beforehand. It's not just earlier. We are wanting to get patient involvement earlier and earlier down, to be able to do TPP, target product profile, with patients. And eventually now seeing it happening within R&D. But this society is end-to-end. So this is also looking after the patient patient support programs, looking at access, looking at commercial planning. How do we create patient partnerships? So this is all the roles. I would say patient engagement is the overall umbrella term, but then it's all the patient-centered science, you name it, that goes throughout. So that we're actually able to support all of them. But yeah, so between
how do you connect these?
So how do we connect? Absolutely. So essentially we have a membership body. So essentially our members are ISPEPers, as we're calling them. They become part of our hub. So we've got a closed membership hub that essentially enables people to have discussion groups, learning, resources, webinars. We have masterclasses for our members as well. So they're continuously to learning and having professional development. We have got which I'm hoping that you're already part of as well, a very, very robust LinkedIn as well, where we are wanting to share as much as we can out to the community. We have our newsletter as well. So it's ISPEP Monthly, where we're sharing both the progress that's happening within ISPEP, but also essentially what is happening externally as well. Papers, journals, progresses, research. We also have ways that we bring in, for instance, patient advocacy groups and patient organizations with something called a patient organization bursary. They enable themselves to become authors of their work, to share information about their organizations, to then be able to demonstrate from both sides out to industry and to the rest of the ISPEPers the amazing progress from that side. And I think one thing that is really exciting that's happening next week as well as the International Patient Engagement Day, is that we're launching our advisory board as well. So these are strong leaders from out in the industry who are then helping to guide us in our strategic imperatives moving forward.
Okay, you guys are doing a lot. I wanted you to be able to say all that because I think it's important for people to know. And I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing, and I'm happy to support it however I can. So good to see you, Alex.
And you too, very much so. See you next week.
Okay,
thanks.
Bye.
Bye.